this is my hot take, why they like the social media side a little bit more is because you get that immediate like dopamine hit.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy you are here with us today as we're talking email marketing. And I brought one of my most favorite people here to join us today. I am so excited to have Sami here. Sami has been one of my biz besties for at least 5 years, maybe longer, 7 years. I don't even know at this point. And she has her own digital marketing agency. And then we finally found a real excuse to work together as Sami is supporting a lot of our done for you projects with Oh My High. So we made a great excuse to finally partner up. And I'm just super excited to have you back on the podcast. This is not your first rodeo, but today we're keeping it really focused. We're talking just around email marketing and list building, which I know we share a passion around. So how are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. I'm so glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you. We're going to just dive right in with some rapid fire questions. So question number one, if you had to pick and you could only keep one, Instagram, social media, or email marketing?
Email, always, no question.
I knew your answer. Okay. How about this one? This is a little bit more tricky. Would you do like a fancy newsletter format, pictures, like all the pretty in a welcome sequence, or plain text?
I would do plain text because if they're coming in from a welcome sequence, you've already grabbed their attention. We know that it's already going to have one of the highest open rates of all of your email communication. So we want to keep it simple, keep it clear, let them know what's coming, and give them those quick wins without making them work too hard.
I love it. Well, and it's easier for you to put together, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes putting together pretty emails takes a hot minute, but we can just write some words on a page, no problem. Okay, love that answer. This is a harder one. I'm throwing hard questions at you. Best marketing advice you've ever received?
So I would say two things, and they actually have nothing to do with marketing. One is be yourself and show up as who you are. And the second is run your own race. Don't compare yourself and what you want for your business to what everybody else is doing, because you'll get lost and you actually won't see the growth that you want because it's not authentic to you.
That's a good one. Run your own race. I love it. Okay. What do you think our listeners or your followers would be surprised to know about you? Getting a little personal here.
I actually don't have a degree in marketing, didn't go to school for marketing, just kind of figured it out along the way and found that it was something that I loved to do and that I was passionate about, and actually think that that is a benefit compared to having a traditional marketing degree.
I don't have a marketing degree either. I mean,
That's
I did
right.
a lot of marketing,
Yeah.
but poli-sci girl over here for undergrad. And then you know this, but nonprofit leadership and management for my master's. So kind of fun that we also share a little bit of the nonprofit world together. Okay, so speaking of which, let's do a formal introduction. If anyone has not yet met you, tell them a little bit about yourself and who you serve.
Yeah, so I started my business in 2017, and we help mostly nonprofits and small business owners grow their businesses online. How do they raise more money? How do they stay connected to people? And how do they do that through their website, email mostly, and really concentrated content creation? So
I love that. So good. So good. And I love that you have kind of like the nonprofit fundraising, like engagement side also. That's such an important part of a nonprofit, is being able to communicate with people and share what you have to offer and also motivate them to act and give a donation. But you also have kind of on the flip side, the more business side of things when it comes to like, we want to write emails that result in actual sales too.
Correct.
So bringing both of the worlds together. Okay, so you've worked with a lot of businesses and their digital marketing strategy. So when it comes to email in particular, what do you think a lot of people are doing maybe wrong from the start?
I think that we are just being like, okay, I just need to send emails. And we're not really understanding the goal of like what we're trying to achieve. Because like with any other digital strategy, right, there's email for nurturing people, there's email for sales, there's email for providing resources and support or just information. So we all have different goals. So I think the biggest issue I see is we don't really have a real strategy for our email. We're just like, somebody told us to do it, so we're going to do it. And then the second piece is, because we don't know what our goals are, we're not consistent. And consistency is really the name of the game when it comes to getting results from your email marketing.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so knowing your goal and then being consistent with sending
Hmm.
are a couple things that we need to work on. And I mean, I get that. I'm guilty of that. I
Oh,
just started kind
same.
of like my own Becky Launder blog thing, and then I'm like, "Ooh, it's been a little bit since I emailed people, or like, really, what's the goal? Like, just to kind of share what I have going on, or is there a clear call to action?" So I think taking that step back of like, how often am I sending to people? And also, what is the point of these emails that I'm sending out
Hmm.
is so important before we just sit down and open up our email tool and start
Yep.
typing things into the emails. I love it. Okay, so you know that we have a lot of direct sellers, a lot of
Hmm.
social sellers that listen, and a lot of them are kind of thinking like, I don't know if I really need email marketing. Do people open emails still? Or, oh, my company sends emails on my behalf. Do I really need to do my own? Or, I really just talk to people on social media. So, like, what's this whole email marketing thing? And why do I need to work it into my business?
So I think it's funny because I've been in a lot of your Q&As and your live sessions with
Yeah.
a modern direct seller, and it's always fascinating to me how, and it just cycles, right? My
Yeah.
Facebook group is dead, nobody's really engaging, I'm not getting what I need from social media, and we get frustrated with that. But then when we bring them email marketing, it's like, well, but people aren't opening my email, people aren't doing this, that, and the other, right? So it's like you can't win. But I think for me, the reason why direct sellers and social sellers like, this is my hot take, why they like the social media side a little bit more is because you get that immediate like dopamine hit. You do get more engagement, you do get more comments. People are talking back to you in a little bit more than with email. Whereas when we're in email, we really have to remind ourselves that just because people aren't responding does not mean that they're not engaging and participating in the content that you're sending, but it doesn't feel as good because you might get a response here and there. But people replying to your email is not necessarily an indicator of the success that that email is serving. So I think that might be kind of one place where people get a little bit stuck, because when
Yeah.
I'm in my group, they're fangirling on me or fanboying on me. They love me. They're giving me that
Yeah.
positive reinforcement. I'm getting that all the time, even if it's maybe less than what it was last week or last month. Email,
Hmm.
you don't get quite that same interaction, but
Yeah.
it's actually more effective in converting to sales. So that would be kind of the first
Yeah.
maybe mindset thing that I might want you to get over.
I mean, I love that you said that because so often people step into email marketing and they're like, okay, well, I've sent an email every week for the last month and I've gotten one response. So I'm like, well,
Right.
that's normal. Like, let's just normalize that. That, like, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it would be lovely if you got a whole bunch of responses. We sent an email just a few days ago and I got 3 responses on our smaller email list. And I was literally like, hold up,
Whoa.
universe,
We,
what
yeah.
is happening? Because the email there wasn't like a huge like reply back and tell me da 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 da. It was literally just kind of like a show and tell, like, this is what we have going on type of email. But something struck there where I'm like, whoa, this is big success. But I think, more often than not, like, we're emailing over 20,000 people a week, if not more than that, even a couple times a week. And it's very rare that we're getting a response,
Yep.
but sales are there and people are seeing it. And obviously that's converting to sales down the road, but it isn't that like immediate
Yep.
win that sometimes you feel like you get, like you said, on social when somebody hits the like button or somebody drops you a comment or leaves you an emoji. You don't always get that kind of feedback.
Yep. But you don't get the sales from social media in the same way without having to kind of work harder.
Yeah.
So I think it's that. And then I think the other piece is, to my point earlier that I said, my best marketing advice is be yourself.
Hmm.
Everything that we all do, we're not unique in, right? Like you and I both build websites and we could see each other as competition, but we don't because we do
Hmm.
it differently.
Yeah.
How many people sell for the company that you also sell for? Like you're not selling a unique product. And I think we also have to remind ourselves of that. And so the way that we stand out is in the way that we communicate. The way that you send your emails, the tone that you use. When I get your emails, I know they're you. If
Hmm.
I sent emails with that same kind of flair and fun and sassiness, people would be like, "Are you good?" Like, because
You get
that's not
hacked.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not the way that I talk. And so like that's how you show up in your email in a conversation with like your best customer or your best friend, and writing them in that way is just another way for you to show up as you that your
Yeah.
company can't do.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a good point too. And I would say, like, I'm on a lot of company email lists. They're usually pretty promotional. Like they are usually more like traditional e-commerce. Like, here's the product, click, go buy. Like,
Correct.
obviously, that's the company's goal as well, is to get your people to buy their thing. And there isn't a whole lot of room for most consultants or representatives or distributors, whatever you call yourself, to customize those. Occasionally you get like a line to at the top where you can just say like, hey, it's Becky and I'm really excited that, it's almost summer and we're doing this and we're doing that. Happy shopping. But more often than not, like, you're not getting the ability to get in there and infuse your personality. And I think that's really what
Correct.
I'm hearing you say is like, people want to buy from you because they like your style. They like the way you
Right.
talk. They like your stories. They like you as a human. So being able to have a place that you can still reach people, I think, is super important.
Yes.
Yes, agree. The other thing I
Yes.
always say when people ask me about this is if they're going to unsubscribe, they're probably going to unsubscribe to your company emails before they unsubscribe to your emails.
100%. And the other thing about having your own, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about this as we kind of go on, but by having an email list now while your only business is selling this one company,
Yeah.
how many people have you been working with lately that have been expanding into a digital product or another company or
Yeah.
XYZ, right? And so being able to kind of nurture this group of people and be able to connect with them on a personal level, then as you expand and grow in who you are and what you offer, you've
Hmm.
got that built-in audience that's there that you can continue to connect with.
Yeah. So many people lately have made some kind of pivot or added in another product of their own that they're selling, and their people follow them. Like, it could be
Yes.
totally not related to the other product that they were selling before, but they still have overlapping customers because people are like, oh, I like you. So I want to buy your thing. Like, what do you recommend, Sammy? All right, I'm in. Sign me up. Like, I want it. So, such a good point. Such a good point. Okay. So, if somebody is listening and they're like, okay, I've never done email marketing. This is like not something that's really even crossed my mind, but maybe it's something I should be doing. If they have 0 subscribers, they don't have an email list, they haven't created an opt-in or a landing page or anything like that, what would you say is the very first thing they need to do to start building this email marketing strategy?
Well, if you're a direct seller or a social seller, you do have a list because you have customers. So, like, that's the biggest win, I think, for folks. However, that does not mean you take your entire list of people that you have served through your, like, maybe you've been with your company for 10 years. If you take all those people, that's not good. I don't know what you would recommend. I kind of say, like, your last 2 years
Mm-hmm.
of act buyers. You could maybe go to 3 years if it's like somebody, I don't know, but at least like the last 2 years, I would start there. And it's always an initial email that's just like, hey, I'm trying this new way to communicate with you. I'd really love to, this is what I'm going to be
Yeah.
sharing. This is how I'm going to be, how often I'm going to be connecting with you, but setting those expectations in that first email and very easily giving people an opportunity to opt out. So that would be kind of my first place to start. Don't send that email until you have a plan for how you're going to consistently communicate with them in the way that you tell them that you're going to in that first email. Because there's nothing worse than getting them excited about something and then they don't hear anything until you're ready to promote something,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Okay, I heard you
Yeah.
say something that can I just hit on really quick? Because
Oh,
you were like, we want to give them a place
yeah.
to opt out. So I feel like if you're brand new to email marketing, you're like, what? We want to give people a chance to leave my email list? But just say a little bit more about that, because I think that that's really important, just
Yeah.
to level set that like people are going to opt out.
Yeah. I mean, odds are, whatever platform you're on, you're paying per user or per subscriber or per person that's on your list. So we don't want to pay for people that aren't going to engage with us anyway. And we want our list to be filled with people that are engaging. So that means opening the emails, clicking on links, or
Mm-hmm.
replying to your email,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a healthier list has a higher percentage of active participants. So it's always good practice to scrub your list, I don't know, twice a year anyway, and remove people that are inactive. So that's opting them out without them having to do
Yeah.
anything. But we want, for a couple of reasons, to allow people to opt out because it gives us a healthier list. It helps with our deliverability. It helps with our engagement. It helps let our email marketing provider know that we are responsible and doing things the right way so that we can continue to,
And
be
emails.
in good standing. Yep. But also for your customer, it's just better customer service to be able to say, hey, I'm doing this new thing, but that doesn't mean that you have to
Yeah.
participate. They might still be active in your group. They might just not want text messages, or they might just not want
Yeah.
email. Or so it's just providing better customer service and being more transparent and trustworthy in the eyes of who you're
I
working
love that. I love that. So if somebody's starting and they are a direct seller and they have a customer list or they have a little bit of an audience, like starting with those people first definitely makes sense.
with.
But what
Hmm.
else do they need? Is there other things that they need in place to be
Yeah.
able to step into email marketing, or what should they be thinking about?
So a lot of people will ask the question, would you like to be on our email list? Provide your email when they're joining your VIP
Mhm.
group. You might send then a follow-up email every time a new customer purchases from you, and invite them to join your email list and just say, hey, this is what you're going to be, thank you for purchasing from me, blah, 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 blah. We're going to add you to my email list now so you'll get even more resources and information from
Yep.
me. You also want to make sure that it's a part of your vendor events and your parties. It just becomes, you're always just asking, can I add you to my email
Mhm.
list? That's the easiest way to get started. And especially then adding warm people to your list. It's not just a bunch of random cold
Right.
people. But then graduating into adding a lead magnet to your website, adding additional free resources so that people can then join your list, even if they haven't purchased or participated with you, just because you've got something that you can offer for free for them that's going to give them value and help them get to know
I
you.
love that. All right, a little real talk. If your business lives on social media, you don't own it. Oh My Hi gives direct sellers a real website that's actually yours. Your links, your content, your personal brand, your email list. Not a replicated page that looks like everyone else's. We built it specifically for people just like you. There's no tech skills required. And as a podcast listener, get a free Capture and Convert homepage when you get started today. Visit the link in the show notes for the promo code or check it out over at ohmyhi.com. Now, back to the episode. Okay, so for the total newbies, tell us what a lead magnet is. And then I'd love to hear also, like, in your opinion, how have lead magnets maybe changed or look different today than they did when,
Mhm.
like, you and I first started out in the online space?
Yeah. So a lead magnet is something that you give somebody for free in exchange for their email address. So if you just have on your website, sign up for my newsletter, you're not going to get a lot of conversions there. People are typically not giving up their email address just because they want to hear from
Mm-hmm.
you. That would be great. That doesn't really happen that much anymore. So this could look like a checklist, a quiz, a short PDF that has some like 3-step skincare for spring, whatever. So it's something that's giving them value. So it could be a quiz that's like, what's my summer color palette, or what kind of makeup brush cleaner am I? I don't know. I'm coming up with terrible. These are terrible ideas. This is a great conversation for you to have with your favorite AI tool. Here's what I sell. Here's my personality. Here's what I love to do. Here's who my audience is. Give me like 20
Yeah,
ideas
for a lead magnet.
for a lead magnet or an
I
opt-in.
love it.
As far as what's working right now, I would say quizzes have always performed really well. I mean, just think back to the days when you would get Cosmo, and like that was always the favorite thing, was like filling out quizzes in your paper magazines. People love quizzes, and it's a great way to get personalized results that are a little bit more, give people a win. I would also say the thing that I've noticed that's shifting, that's working better, is shorter lead magnets. We don't need big long guides that are like 6 pages long, that are beautifully designed, that make me have to read a bunch of information to kind of get the win. It's more about short, quick win, enough that I can get to know you and be like, okay, this person has something to offer me. I'm going to stay engaged.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, I look back at some of the early lead magnets that we created, and they were like very beautifully produced, and they were extensive, and there was multiple pages, and there was a lot of text. And we've definitely shifted gears. I think our quiz is our best performing lead magnet.
Mhm.
Whereas before, like, I could do just like a simple checklist. And I feel like now it's like people have like seen a lot of those things. So I think it does need to be really hyper specific and niche for the audience that you're looking to reach. Like the more detailed you can be about who it's for, the better you can serve those people. And I love a good quiz too, because you're also finding out like what those people are interested in. Like it's giving you some good data
100%.
as you're getting started. So love that. Okay. So let's say somebody finds your lead magnet. Like we've taken our warm customer list, they're uploaded, like we're serving them, we're consistent, we're sending our emails, we're doing all of our things. Now we have a lead magnet and people are coming in fresh and new onto our email list even before they shop. And now the big question is like, what do we keep emailing them about? Like somebody subscribes. What should we say to these people to keep them engaged? The million-dollar question, how often should we be emailing them? What makes it worth it? What would you recommend?
Okay, so let's talk frequency first, because I think that's sort of the easiest question, but the one that people get really hung up on. My first reaction is if you're new, set up your cadence for as often as you can do it consistently, at least once a month. When you're just getting started, at least once a month. Otherwise, you're not like the beauty of email is staying top of mind. You want to stay top of mind, right? I'd love for you to do it weekly. And I think that's probably what you would recommend. But again, it's consistency and setting expectations. So do it as often as you can consistently do it. When it comes to content and what are we sharing, you can always put your product in there. You can always have your shopping link, but the focus should be more about personal connection. So like stories of what's happening in your personal life and this is how it actually relates to a product that I'm using. And that's peppered in there, but it's more just about like how we can relate on a story. Like maybe you were running super late to get your kids to school, and like 5 minutes before you were leaving, you remembered that you had to go to this weird random meeting that just popped up and you hadn't done your makeup yet, but thank goodness now I have this like tool that I can use and get my makeup done in 5 minutes. And here's my before and after picture, like fun things like that. So if you're going to talk about your product, you're talking about it from a personal space. But I also think if you're just getting started or you're newer, think about what content you're already creating. So for example, I was talking with somebody through you which I think this is bonkers that she does this. I'm very impressed. But she does a daily food demo and a daily recipe.
Shout out to Julie.
Yeah.
She's doing a daily
and I'm like,
video.
Girl.
Yes.
Yeah. I love you for this. But she's doing it in a Facebook group. And so I was like, you're creating all of this amazing content. Keep doing it. But let's give it more visibility. So my recommendation to her was just take those videos, put them up on a blog post on your website. Just say, hey, here's my this week's videos, put the recipes up there. And then that's your email. Your email is literally just, hey, check out, these are the 5 demos I did. Here's the products that I featured. If you want to grab those recipes, they're all here. So you don't also have to like do something completely fresh. It can be the stuff you're already sharing. It could be the most popular social media posts that you put out and you just kind of recap them in a fun way. So don't
overthink it. I love it. And I think you're exactly right. Like Julie, I think it's her business page that she's posting it on, but she's seen like the decline in visibility on the page. And she's like, I got all these people that like my page and follow my page, but not everyone's seeing my stuff anymore. And it was like, well, this is perfect. Like you're already creating the content. In fact, you have years of content created. How do we take that and, like you said, put it up on the blog so people can see it there, but then also use that as your content for your email that you're sending out every week. And so we're not creating something new or a brand new, fresh piece of content for that email. It's how do we keep everything aligned? And I know some people would be like, but what if they see it twice during the week? What if they saw it on my Facebook page and they saw it in my email? Who cares?
Who cares? Then they saw it twice.
And you know what? Likely to remember it now.
More likely. And they're probably going to look at the video and be like, this looks familiar. I feel like I've seen this somewhere and not even know where they saw it the first place anyway. Like we don't remember. And it's something like 21 times people need to see something before they make a buying decision. And like when you start to feel like you're repeating yourself over and over and over again, your audience is just seeing it for the first time. So if you've posted it on your email and you've posted it on your social media and you're throwing it out in all those places, it's just like starting to kind of slowly sink in and they're making those connections. Nobody's going to be mad because they saw a video twice.
Well, and I just think that when it comes to email marketing, some people are hanging out in their email inbox. Like they are checking their emails and that's how they're going to see you versus the people that might be hanging out with you on Facebook versus the people that might be hanging out with you on Instagram or hanging out with you on TikTok. It's just another touch point where you have the opportunity to stay in front of them. And that's probably why they're not like super highly responding to every single email because it's almost like a billboard. Like, oh, there's Becky again. There
Correct.
she is. Hi, keep on
Well,
driving, right? Like you gotta
yeah.
put something in that email that's gonna stop them and move them into making a purchase. But it's just another place that you're able to connect with people.
But to that point, how many times have you seen something, whether it's an ad or a post from somebody on social media, and you're like, oh, that's kind of a cool thing. I don't have time to deal with that right now. I'll come back and find it. And then you can never find it again. And you're like, well, I would have given them my money, but I can't remember the name. I just remember that it did this thing.
Yeah.
But if it's in your email and you're like, oh, I saw that really cool thing, it's in my email, I saved it, it's so much easier to go back, find it, click that link when I'm ready.
100%. Yeah. I love that. Okay. So, any mistakes that you're seeing people making when it comes to emailing their list? Like anything that you're like, oh, I get emails and I know that's not really what they should be doing, but I didn't want to call them out on it. Like things that maybe are popping into your inbox where you're like, I would have done that a little different. Are there things that you can think of off the top of your head that might be, might want to rethink the way you're emailing people?
Yeah, two things. One is subject lines that are way too clickbaity. That's the quickest way you might get them to open that email the first time, but then when they read the email and it's not cool, you've lost your trust immediately and they're unsubscribing.
Okay, tell me an example. Right?
Subject
like
line?
A clickbaity subject line that's like gives you the it.
So like in product sales, right? It'd be like, try this product for $1, but then you open it up and you have to spend $500 to get that free product for $1, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So like you're leading, right? And then they're immediately just turned off. Like, okay, well, this is not
you're not promising
that expected.
You lost the trust,
right? Stuff like that. The second one is too much information in one email, and so this is why people who are like, well, I don't have the capacity to send an email more than once a month, then they send the once a month email and they have to catch up on everything that's been going on. And they send this monster email that's got 18 calls to action and information for days and 30 million photos. And you're looking at it and you're like, I can't process this. So I think what you'll find when you get started is sending a weekly email is not as daunting as it seems, because it's one, maybe two things that you need people to do per email. So you'll find that you're going to have plenty of stuff to talk about. You probably could even send more than one email a week sometimes.
Yeah. And on that note, do you think it's okay to send shorter emails where it's just maybe like a paragraph and a button and a sign off? Or do you feel like it needs to be at least like a couple paragraphs of substance to make it into an email?
I personally think it's quality over quantity. It's what do you need to say? Like, don't make it a longer email just because you feel like you need to make it a longer email, if you can get to the point. I do think it's also more about the formatting. Like, you do a great job with the formatting in your emails. Like, how do we have headers and bullets, and how are we breaking up the text so that it's easy for people to skim? So don't put anything in the email that is not, we don't need fluff. Storytelling, like, have a purpose, but don't make it longer just to make it longer. Make sure that your calls to action are clear and simple and not too many actions in
one email. Yeah. I'm a skimmer. So I'm like, where are the bullet points? Where are the bold 100%. Words? Like, I've got to be like really focused in if I'm reading the entire email. I'm usually just scanning for key things and being like, oh, I need that. Or, oh, that was cool. Or, oh, I love that story. And then moving on to the next thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so somebody's listening right now. Maybe they're folding laundry. Maybe they're making dinner. Maybe they're on their commute. And you wanted them to take one action from this episode before the week is over. That's my caveat. Not like next month or next year, but like something tangible that they could do right now. What should they do to either up-level their email marketing or get started with email marketing?
Yeah. Okay, so if you are up-leveling and you've already kind of started playing with automations, or like you've got some lead magnets and whatnot, this is your reminder to check all of those connections, review your automations, and make sure that the content in them is still relevant and accurate. Make sure your website connections to your lead magnet and your email service provider are working, because I cannot tell you how many times it's broken and I didn't know, and then it's just a mess. But so check your automations and check your welcome sequences and make sure that everything is actually still current with how you're operating your business.
Sami, did you just add something to my to-do list?
I know, you've got a lot of them.
But I'm like, when's the last time I read through that welcome sequence? I should probably make sure what I'm saying is what I still believe.
Right? And then put a date on your calendar for 6 months from now to do the same thing, right? It just needs to, because we forget about it. if you're just getting started, then I would sit down and reverse engineer a map. So don't like go straight into creating a lead magnet and getting all excited about that, because then what happens is it's the same. Like you go to a vendor event and then you don't think about what your follow-up plan is going to be. So then you're scrambling after the vendor event to be like, oh shoot, now how should I thank people and where do I put my emails? Right when you know what's coming and you have that all planned, it's much easier to be consistent and you get better results. So I would just get an old-fashioned pen and paper and start to map out your actual flow of how you want to connect and engage with your emails, and then build your system around kind of what you want that to look like.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we could totally nerd out talking about email more, but I want to be aware of everyone's time and yours. Thank you so much, Sami, for being here. We absolutely love working with you and having you part of our Oh My Hi team and sending business back and forth and collaborating in the way that we are. So thank you for being here. I know our community loves you and appreciates you, and so many people are going to walk away from this episode with some really brilliant ideas that they can apply to their email marketing, or even just start. Just getting started.
Yep, just start.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having
Sami.
me.
Have a good one. Bye. This episode is sponsored by CintShare. CintShare is the #1 social media scheduler for direct sellers and loved by creators in any industry. It's truly your one-stop shop for all things social. Join hundreds of thousands of social sellers and entrepreneurs who turn to CintShare for free social media training and resources. Get started today with your free 30-day trial at moderndirectseller.com/CintShare.